Earth, the home of the entire human race. To those of us on its surface, Earth is vast and never-ending. In past times, the Earth was considered the center of the universe, the place that the sun and the moon and the stars revolved around. People thought that our world was the only world. They thought that the sky was heaven and that the sun, moon, and stars were spirits. Today, we know that we are not the center of anything. Earth is just a tiny planet in a tiny solar system in the Milky Way galaxy. When we look at the sky, we know that we are seeing space. At night, we see a dark, vast expanse dotted with the light from billions of stars and planets. To the naked eye, that's all that can be seen. That is why, for thousands of years, humans thought that that's all there was. Today, we have an instrument called the telescope that allows us to see the stars and planets up close. Scientists and astronomers have more powerful telescopes that have allowed them to see the far-off planets of Jupiter and Pluto up close and study them, as well as other possible worlds. Centuries ago, the people of the world didn't have the knowledge or tools we have today. The night sky was just one of the many mysteries they tried to explain with legends and myths, many of which we still keep record of. To the Native Americans, the stars were more than skylights. Inuits believed they were spirits, living things that were sent to roam the heavens forever, such as the great bear Nanook and the team of Eskimo hunting dogs who, in the fury of the great hunt, plunged over the edge of the world and became stars in the sky. Today, they are part of the constellation known as Taurus the Bull. In ancient Greek legends, stars were made by the gods. Whenever a hero completed his quest, he was painted into the sky by Zeus, king of the gods, as a reminder to everyone of the hero's great deeds. One of these heroes was Hercules, who was famous for his 12 tasks. Perseus, another great hero, was painted up there, along with his wife Andromeda. In fact, many of today's known constellations come from ancient Greek legends. Today, we use one particular set of constellations quite often. We call them the zodiac. It contains Leo, Virgo, Pisces, Cancer, Taurus, Libra, Scorpio, and several others. By the time the 17th century came around, people wanted to know what was really in the sky. By the early 1600s, the first telescope appeared in the Netherlands, created by Hans Lippershey. But it was Galileo Galilei that gave us the instrument we have today. Galileo Galilei, born February of 1564, was one of the most famous Italian contributors of the scientific revolution. He was a skilled physicist, mathematician, astronomer, and philosopher, and one of the supporters of the theory that the sun was the center of the universe and not the earth. Today we know that the sun is the center of our solar system, not the universe, and we only know this thanks to the improvements Galileo made to the telescope. Using an assortment of lenses to magnify images 3 times, and later on 6 times, he was able to observe the moon closer than anyone before his time. He discovered that the moon was rocky and uneven, contrary to the age-old belief that it was smooth and flat. He also discovered and observed 4 of Jupiter's moons, Io, Europa, Callisto, and Ganymede, which are now referred to as the Galilean moons. Each of the names was derived from 4 of Zeus's mortal lovers, once again showing how much ancient Greek mythology has impacted astronomy. But Galileo didn't just discover stuff about the moons. On clear nights, Galileo would take his telescope out to observe the stars. He was the first one to see 2 rings around Saturn. However, the 2 appendages he saw were not identified as the rings until the mid-17th century by a Dutch scientist named Christian Huygens. Through his many observations, Galileo noted that even with his telescope, some stars appeared like points of light in the sky. He theorized that this was because of their immense distances from Earth.
You couldn't get to the nearest star if you traveled your entire lifetime. No way.
And when he turned his telescope towards one of the Milky Way's arms, he saw thousands of stars never seen before. These discoveries opened up the door to a wave of theories about the vastness of our universe and galaxies. Another famous discovery by Galileo was the black smudges on the surface of the sun. Today, we call them sunspots, or places on the sun that are cooler than the rest of the sun's surface. But don't let the word cooler fool you. Sunspots are still pretty hot, around 7,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Galileo was also a known supporter of Copernicus, the man who suggested that the Earth was round and not flat. Copernicus was widely criticized during his time for this theory, and so was Galileo for supporting him. When Galileo died, many people hoped that his heretic ideas would die with him, but Galileo had opened a door that couldn't be closed. Scientists and astronomers everywhere were curious about what lied outside of our world. And while Galileo may have been persecuted for his knowledge and theories, he opened the floodgate for astronomical advancements for centuries to come. Astronomers and scientists have tried to improve his telescope. Many have tried and succeeded. Isaac Newton developed the first reflecting telescope. Called the Newtonian telescope, this device used several mirrors to reflect and magnify the image received. Many telescopes today use this concept. The first giant reflecting telescope was William Herschel's Great Reflector. Inside it had a mirror of 49 inches in length and a focal length of 40 feet. Today, we have many advanced forms of telescopes that receive images in many different ways. X-ray telescopes, gamma ray, radio wave, ultraviolet and infrared telescopes, mounted on Earth and on many space missions, such as the Apollo and Hubble space missions, have brought us many images from deeper in space than ever before. Every day, we learn even more about the vastness that our planet and our sun and all the other planets and suns reside in. Telescopes have given us a close look of worlds impossible for us to reach. Hey, maybe one day we will get to another world, one that possibly supports life, too. What if they have their own telescopes, and they look into the cosmos, wondering what's out there? Who knows what will happen in the future? Until then, and long after, people can look through the telescope and see what Galileo and many other astronomers saw. So go on, take a look through Galileo's gift.